everyone. This is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 2 of the world of podcasts. And the vocabulary words are microphone.
Microphone.
Tammy grabbed the microphone and started to sing.
Ancient.
Ancient.
This ancient temple has been here for centuries.
Require.
Require.
This game requires 4 people to play.
Any 2 people want to come join us? Connection.
Connection.
I have a slow internet connection at home, so I don't often make video calls.
Ad.
Ad.
An ad in the newspaper for a used truck caught Ron's attention. Okay, so we're still talking about podcasts, right?
Yeah.
And then how it's becoming really, really popular and how you can basically find any type of topics that you want to learn about.
And the more popular it becomes, the more people are creating podcasts.
Yes.
The more topics people will be talking about. But I think it's become so popular now because really everybody has the equipment to make a podcast.
Because
all you need really is a phone because
Yes.
your phone has a microphone, right? And it has the software to record your voice.
Yes.
And a lot of apps now will help you create the full episode just using their app in your phone. So it's really simple to produce a pretty high quality podcast. And then everybody has a smartphone, so everybody can listen to podcasts.
Definitely. And then if you have something interesting that you want to share, and so anybody can basically do anything like it, right?
Really, anybody could create a podcast. It just needs to be interesting so that you'll get an audience. You want people to listen to it.
So whereas like making for example, like a YouTube video, you might have to learn how to edit your videos.
Worry about the lighting.
That's right. There's more work involved.
And also for listening to a podcast rather than watching YouTube, you can do it in a lot of places. Like
You're right.
you can do it while you're exercising or if you're
Doing any kind of chores at home.
I listen to podcasts sometimes when I'm falling asleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I listen to some that are just kind of quiet, and I like the sound of the voice of the people speaking, and I just
And then it helps you fall asleep.
fall asleep. Really?
So make sure you listen to something boring if you want to listen to something before you sleep.
All right. I hope we've interested you in podcasts, and go download a podcast today.
All right, enjoy.
Enjoy.
The world of podcasts.
All it takes to make a podcast is a voice, a microphone, and something to say. Do you really like ducks? What about ancient history? Well, with over 850,000 podcasts in the world and counting, you can bet these and plenty more topics are covered. Depending on the type of podcast, it can teach you something new, keep you on top of the news, make you laugh, or even make you cry. Is it any wonder, then, that over 115 million people listen to podcasts every week?
Today's lesson is called The World of Podcasts, Part 2. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And as we've learned yesterday, that is a great title for this article. When we talk about the world of something, you know, it's a big topic, it's an interesting subject, there's a lot of things to know about it, things you might not be aware of. But with podcasts, it really is a world of podcasts. We learned yesterday that 45% of the new podcasts are in languages other than English. And podcasts have really taken off in Taiwan. I read in the newspaper not long ago that there are around 300 new podcasts last year, but in the first part of this year, 870. About 100 new podcasts are created every month in Taiwan, and I bet most of those are not in English. Yeah, so there you go.
Hey.
Lots of local podcasts and global topics too.
They say that everyone has a podcast these days.
Do you?
I do not, but I have considered possibly making a podcast.
Well, how would you go about doing that, Jeff?
Well, that's a great question, Mike. That's what we're going to talk about right now.
Wow.
All it takes to make a podcast is a voice.
You have that.
A microphone.
You could buy that.
And something to say.
I think you have that.
I think that I can figure out something to say for 3 or 4 hours at a time. Anyways, though, yes, you have to have a voice, something that people can hear when you're talking, and then something to say into the microphone. Now, the microphone, that's the thing that really makes the magic happen. The microphone will both amplify your voice and will allow you to record what you've said.
Yeah,
so
without the microphone, you're just sort of yelling out your window.
You would and
it's not a good podcast.
And these days, you do need to record that stuff. Otherwise, it's just a radio program. You'd be broadcasting something live that doesn't get recorded. So for it to be a podcast, you've got to have that microphone, talk into it, and record what you are saying. For example, Tammy grabbed the microphone and started to sing. Tammy Wynette, what a voice she had.
Was it Tammy Wynette,
It was
the
Tammy
country singer?
Wynette, the country singer.
Okay, all right. Well, yes, get a microphone. There is, of course, a microphone on your smartphone, a very small one, but it would probably be better to spend a bit of money and get a more professional style microphone. So you've got the microphone, you've got the idea, you've even come up with a title. What are you going to say? What are you going to talk about?
Ducks.
Well, the answer is basically anything, as it says. Do you really like ducks?
Quack, quack.
You could add in, do you really like trucks? Do you really like anything? What about ancient history? What about another topic?
The ancient history of ducks.
The ancient history of ducks carrying trucks. Anyways, you can talk about almost anything. Some topics would be, harder to find material, like duck trucks. But anyways, ancient history. That would be a good one. You could talk about the pharaohs, Rome, ancient China, all sorts of stuff. But if it's history, it's in the past. If it's ancient, it's really far in the past. When we think of ancient history, we're thinking 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Not, World War II, which was 70 years ago. Not the 1990s, which was 20 years ago. No, we're talking about really, really old stuff. So, like the pyramids and that kind of thing. For example, this ancient temple has been here for centuries. Of course, a century is 100 years, so probably for many centuries, because it's really old. It's ancient. Well, the article says, with over 850,000 podcasts in the world and counting, you can bet these, ducks and ancient history, you can bet these and plenty more topics are covered. There are almost 1 million podcasts out there in the world.
As of now, there is. I bet there's probably quite a few
That's
more
a lot.
now. I imagine that number probably
Every
has
second.
eclipsed 1 million at this point.
Wow.
Anyways, depending on the type of podcast, it can teach you something new, keep you on top of the news, make you laugh, or even make you cry.
No one listens to my podcast.
Maybe something like that. Anyways, is it any wonder then that over 115 million people listen to podcasts every week?
Wow.
Me included. Podcasts are a great way to pass the time, especially when you have to run or jog or exercise. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be back soon.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们在第一天的课文读到，在去年2020年制作的 podcast 节目当中呢，有45%不是英语节目。那现在台湾也有越来越多人在制作 podcast 节目了。同学们有兴趣想要试试看吗？其实要制作 podcast 很简单，你只需要准备好你的声音，有一支麦克风，还有你想要说的话就可以了。那不管你是要聊鸭子、聊古代历史都没有问题。课文就写到说，现在全世界有超过85万个 podcast 节目，而且正在持续增加中。Jeff 老师说，他认为实际数字可能已经超越100万了。老师用到 eclipse 这个字来表达超越，我们来拼一下。eclipse，eclipse 它是当动词用。那这边还有2个单字 microphone microphone 就是麦克风，麦克风可以帮我们扩大音量嘛？那我们来学一下这个动词 amplify， 就是扩大、放大，它是拼作 amplify，amplify 可以表达声音的放大、扩大。好，下一个单字 ancient， 它是形容古老的、古代的。Michael 在解释单字时提到 Pharaoh 就是法老王，还有 pyramid 是金字塔。好，再看到课文下一句写到说，取决于播客的类型，它可以教你一些新东西，让你完全掌握时事，让你笑，甚至让你哭。好，这边有3个重点。第一个 depending on 在这边呢是独立分词片语，用来表达取决于什么，根据什么什么来看。那么之后是要接名词或是名词子句，例如 depending on the weather, we might have to cancel our picnic in the park。根据天气来看啊，我们可能得取消在公园的野餐行程了。好，第二个重点是 on top of 加上名词的不同意思。第一种呢是用来表达完全掌握、完全控制、应对什么什么，那么常常会搭配 be 动词或者是 keep 或者 stay 这样的动词。例如 Don't worry about the problem, we're on top of it。别担心那个问题，我们完全掌握了。第二个呢是表达除了什么什么之外还有什么，这时候呢它就相当于 in addition to。例如 On top of the bonus, her boss gave her a 5% raise。除了奖金之外，她老板还给她5%的加薪。好，那么第3个重点是 make 加受词加原形动词，是表达致使什么做某事，使得什么做某事。make 这边是表达致使或是让，那它不带有强迫的语义。受词后面要接原形动词，例如 The nasty comment made her cry。 那则恶意的评论让她哭了。好，接着回课文中。
The world of podcasts.
On top of that, they're easy to enjoy. Unlike watching TV or reading, podcasts don't require your undivided attention. So you can listen to podcasts while doing something else, like commuting to work or exercising at the gym. In addition, all you need to listen to one is a smartphone and a podcast app or a computer with an internet connection. Podcasts are also free, with many only having a few short ads.
Podcasts, they're everywhere, and it makes sense. You can laugh, you can cry, you can learn stuff, and you know what? It's also really easy, okay, to enjoy a podcast. I believe there's a sentence talking about this. Let's take a step back here and say, on top of that, on top of all those other things, they're easy to enjoy. Why? Well, unlike watching TV or reading, podcasts don't require your undivided attention, okay? Very often when I go running, I'm listening to a podcast, and there will be times that my mind will wander. No big deal. I haven't missed anything. The conversation was not all that important to begin with. It was just supposed to distract me. Now, if the same thing happened while you were reading a book, that would be bad. Oh, I read chapters 1 through 3, then just kind of zoned out for chapters 4, 5, and 6. You probably won't get much out of that book if you read it in that way.
It wouldn't be good to go jogging with a book either.
And going jogging with the book, it's just not going
Sweat
to
on
work.
the book, run into a tree. Not good.
Not good at all. Anyways, it says podcasts don't require your undivided attention. If something is required, you have to have that thing. That's all there is to it. For example, this game requires 4 people to play. If you've got 3 people, you're out of luck. You need 4 people or else you can't play the game.
There you go. So yeah, with podcasts, you don't need a big thing like a television or a computer. You don't need to have all your attention on it like reading a book or watching a movie or something like that. You're only using your ears, and with those little headphones, you can do it anywhere. So you can listen to podcasts while doing something else, like commuting to work, on the bus, on the MRT, or exercising at the gym, while running or, cooking in your kitchen, cleaning your house, lying in bed. You can do it anywhere, anytime, as long as your ears are working. You can enjoy that podcast. In addition, all you need to listen to one is a smartphone and a podcast app, or a computer with an internet connection, and maybe some headphones.
And most of us have smartphones and podcast apps and computers and internet connections. So get started, everyone.
There you go.
What's keeping you?
Absolutely, yeah. Your phone, some headphones, and even Wi-Fi. You can listen to it for free using a Wi-Fi connection to the internet. What is a connection? Well, it's basically something that is connected, right? When you have this noun, you're talking about a link. You're talking about something that allows you to join up to something. If you plug your phone into the wall with that old phone, that is giving you a connection. If you have a power cable going from a machine to a wall socket with electricity going through it, that is a connection. And if you're talking to someone on the phone or on the internet or anywhere and you can hear their voice, you have a connection to them. Maybe you're not actually touching, but there is some kind of thing linking you, passing information, data, electricity, signals, whatever, through this connection. For example, I have a slow internet connection at home, so I don't often make video calls. I still have a telephone dial-up modem.
Yeah, that won't be good for bandwidth.
Yeah, no, that's not a good connection.
Anyways, though, podcasts, and this is kind of a big deal. Podcasts are usually also free.
Ooh, I like free.
With many only having a few short ads. There aren't that many advertisements. And sometimes hosts for podcasts say, here are the ads. I'm only going to say them at the beginning of the show, and if you want to skip ahead, you can do so. So, hey, podcasts, they're pretty awesome. Unlike ads and advertisements are kind of annoying. An ad is something that makes you want to buy something. It might be in a magazine, a page in a magazine that's totally devoted to having you want to buy something. You can have an ad in a magazine, or you can have a television commercial. That would be an advertisement. Buy this particular product. Ads are kind of a pain, but they kind of make capitalism work. Anyways, folks, with that, an ad in the newspaper for a used truck caught Ron's attention. That was the example sentence for the word ad. I guess this was a good ad, one of the few. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be back after this.
Podcast 不像看电视或是看书，不需要你的眼睛一直盯着看，不需要你全神贯注。那你可以边听边做其他事情，像你可以趁通勤搭车的时候听啊，或者是可以边听边运动等等。那我们先来看单字 require， 它表示需要、要求。那么文中的用到这个 undivided attention 是指全部的注意力，没有分散掉的注意力，是全部的哦。那么刚刚Jeff老师还有用到一些用语，像是 distract 是表达使人分心，这个动词是拼作 distract distract， 还有用到 zone out。zone out zone out 在口语当中可以表达恍神、不注意、精神不集中的意思。好，那么课文接着写到说，要听 podcast， 你只需要一台智慧型手机，还有一个 podcast 应用程式，或者是有一台有网络连线的电脑就可以了。那么通常 podcast 是免费的，很多呢都只有几则短短的广告而已。不想听广告，应该也可以直接把它跳过。那这边有两个单字。Connection 它是指连接或者是关联，那么 Internet connection 是指网络连线或者是上网的意思。 好 ，Mike 老师刚刚提到一个东西叫做 dial-up modem， 是指说用拨接上网的数据机。不晓得同学有没有听过、看过这种东西？以前我们要上网的时候，就是要等那台数据机慢慢拨好，然后像惨叫机一样叫个10几秒，哔不哔哔哔不不不不，等了很久才有可能连线上网。好，下一个单字 ad。ad 是指广告，那么它是 advertisement 的缩写。好，我们接着回到课文中。
The world of podcasts.
There's so much to love about podcasts, and so many different ones out there. What are you waiting for? It's time to start exploring the world of podcasts.
You guys are still here? Go! Go grab your smartphones. Get started on the whole podcast thing. I mean, there's so much to love about podcasts and so many different ones out there. So, what are you waiting for? Get to it.
Absolutely. You can find ones to listen to, of course. That shouldn't be a problem with almost 1 million of them out there. Or you can add to that number by making your own. So as it says in the final sentence, it's time to start exploring the world of podcasts, either just as a listener listening to it to pass some time or entertain yourself, or as a podcast creator. Make your own, or even better, do both. Listen to a bunch, get some ideas, work on it, and then come out with your own amazing podcast. Who knows, maybe one of those 115 million people a week will be listening to yours. Maybe you'll be one of the 100 or so new podcasts that gets launched in Taiwan every month. Good luck and good listening. Here's our question though before we wrap up. Do you or would you listen to podcasts? Why or why not?
Yes, I listen to podcasts. One thing I like listening to is people. People having conversations with one another, intelligent conversations, because this makes my jogs, my running sessions, much easier to handle and to bear. I can kind of get lost in that conversation while exercising. So I actually listen to quite a few podcasts. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to say goodbye, but we'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.
Take care.
看了这2天的课文，同学们有没有试着想要当 podcast 的创作者，或是你只想单纯当个听众来打发时间呢？不管怎么样 ，podcast 是一个快速发展的新趋势，所以呢，现在该是开始探索 podcast 世界的时候喽。Mike 老师刚刚用到 creator creator 可以用来表达创造者或者是创作者。那我们最后来看一个文法重点是。It's time for somebody to 加原形动词，是指说该是某人做某事的时候了。那可以用来作为提醒或是建议。那我们来造2个例句。It's time to take a break， 休息时间到咯。It's time for you to go to bed， 该是你睡觉的时候咯。另外要补充一个用法是。It's time 后面接 that 子句的时候呢，子句的动词用过去式把它写作 It's time that 主词加上过去式动词，像这样的句型就可以用来强调某事早该做而没有做的语义。例如 It's time that he started looking for a new job， 他早该开始找新工作了。好，以上是这节课程讲解，谢谢同学们收看，我们下次见喽，拜拜。
See you next time.